Hello, my name is Philippa Langley. This short series of films has been done in celebration of the first 100 years of research, the centenary of the Richard III Society. It is one of the oldest and largest historical societies in the world. We hope that you enjoy them. Thank you. Until now, there has been little public interest in the two young men who appeared during the reign of Henry VII, claiming the throne of England. Henry VII pronounced them impostors, and because their challenges failed, tradition has accepted the names assigned to them: Lambert Simnel in 1487 and Perkin Warbeck in the 1490s. They belonged to the footnotes of history. The Richard III Society, on the other hand, believes that the traditions surrounding Richard III are open to question, and we're committed to researching and reassessing how much of them stand up to scrutiny. Over the years, some of our members have analysed these two claimants to England's crown and picked up on details that suggest they could really have been Edward V and Richard of York, the sons of Edward IV. These brothers, known as the Princes in the Tower, went missing in 1483, and tradition said they were killed. Our previous video explains the story. Individual researchers of 500-year-old history have a hard time of it when they go alone against prevailing beliefs. We know evidence that once existed has been lost and destroyed. Still, our mission statement commits us to promote research into the mysteries that surround the unproven allegations around Richard and the unproven deaths of the princes. Research is more effective when a dedicated group can fan out across hundreds of archives and museums, searching for overlooked documents that relate to a specific subject. The Missing Princes Project is just such a group, formed over 8 years ago, and looking for evidence of what might have happened to them. They treat it as a police cold case missing persons investigation. Their key advantage is not only their expert knowledge of that period of history, they are also coordinated international researchers, able to look beyond purely English records. If the princes were moved out of sight in 1483, they could have been moved out of England. The team's first discoveries were widely publicised in a book and television documentary shown around the world, and they've thrown new light on the claimants hitherto known as Lambert and Perkin. Not surprisingly, there were 15th century documents found on the continent, out of reach of tampering or destruction by the English King Henry VII. To anyone who starts off with an open mind, there are already serious flaws in the official stories that say the two individuals who led large armies and invasions against King Henry were merely low-born children, taught princely manners. When over the centuries the case is all in favour of one argument and anything different is dismissed. It comes as a revelation to then learn something new. We now have written evidence from French records about the claimant in 1487, whose followers named him King Edward. An internal document from the records of the Flemish royalty and nobility who lavished money on the equipment and men he led into battle states in so many words that he was the son of King Edward IV. This is a far cry from the allegations in England that insisted that they were promoting a child, masquerading as the Earl of Warwick. A similar revelation about the other claimant, Richard, has emerged in a document found in the Netherlands. If you depend on English records, in hindsight, his whole story is dominated by a dubious confession that was forced from him under duress, making him admit to Henry VII's accusation that he was the son of a French boatman. Even the distinguishing marks on his body that were recognised by people who knew him have been brushed aside. The newly found document is a personal testimonial which closely resembles the well-known Dendermonde letter signed by Richard Plantagenet, second son of Edward IV, and seeking support from Spain in 1493 under the patronage of King Edward's sister, Margaret, Duchess of Burgundy. The great thing about this new testimonial is its length and all the particulars it contains. This is a business-like record, not intended for publication. It commits to paper 4 pages of closely descriptive details, which match when you compare them with identifiable places, names, and incidents, including locations in and around the Tower of London in 1483. Naturally, the research goes on, but it's hard to imagine how an imposter could know such a wealth of detail. Being the only known document that explains how the princes were taken to safety, this provides remarkable new insights and possibilities for digging out material about the men it names who arranged it all. And more evidences have been found. So thank you for watching. We hope that these have been helpful. And if you want to find out more about any of these subjects, please visit the Richard III Society website. Thank you.